What's going on, everyone? It's TV, and today I am happy to announce we have our winners for the BedWars Map Building Contest Season 2. So this is correct. This is the second season I've done these contests. I gotta say, I've been hosting them since Islands, and that it's been like 4 years. I think it's been like 4 years, hasn't it? I still remember my first season of Map Contest in Islands, and we had some crazy cool looking builds. And every single time I run one of these contests, I always feel bad because there's always so many great entries and not enough winners. Like, I wish I could just make them all winners. In this contest, we had 3 different categories. We had, of course, the traditional hide and seek map, but we got a lot of awesome hide and seek maps today. We also had a scripted category, which basically meant it could be mini games like solo games. It could be just fully scripted automation. So whether it's PvP or single player, whatever it is, any kind of scripted game, you name it, we wanted to see it. And then finally, we have the PvP category, which means player versus player. Also, if you want to play any of these maps, you can check out the code in the description below for each one that I'm going to be showing you right now. All right, so we're going to start off with hide and seek, then we're going to move into PvP, and finally scripted, which in my opinion are the best maps. So you got to watch all the way to the end, okay? You got to watch all the way to the end. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on some really cool games. Don't skip. No skipping. No skipping. Make sure you watch. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps me afford these map contests. And huge shout out to the developers for giving these awesome endgame prizes. Let me show you them. So the top 8 from each category got these prizes. Let me find it. First one is a title called Map Contest. You can see it does like a cool rainbow effect. And then finally over here, we have a new emote. This is for the winner. And here's what it looks like. It's like you kiss the trophy and then throw it up in the air. Actually, let's do that again. Let's do that again. I had the rage blade. There we go. Yeah, dude. That is so cool. Look at like the particles too. Now, I didn't win, but the devs gave me this so I could show it off to you all. Dude, look at that. Look at all the little miniature blocks. This is so cool. Looks really neat. Yeah, buddy. Starting with number 8 is Toy Story Hide and Seek, created by Mousy the Rodent. And this map is really cool. You can see there's Buzz Lightyear. There's a whole like Toy Story theme to this map. Now, what I really like about this map is not because it's Toy Story, but because it's really cool themed. Like, there's color coordination across the board. The map is really clean. I like the whole like upscaled stuff. A lot of people know that I like the oversized or giant kind of map where you're basically ant-sized and everything else is huge. And that's a common theme with a lot of hide and seek games, is usually you're kind of like small or tiny versus the map itself. And what I really like about this map though is it's clean enough for you to be able to find people. It's not too big. It's not overly busy. There's not too many blocks everywhere. It's really well optimized. There's not a bunch of particle effects slowing or lagging your computer down. So it's both a showcase, but also very functional hide and seek map. And I will definitely be using this map during my live streams as a result of that. The next map we have here is Christmas Hide and Seek, created by Forgotten Ace Real. This map is really beautiful. And like I said a little bit earlier, man, some of these maps can get way too big, but they're gorgeous. Like, if this was just a showcase category, and this is kind of why I did Hide and Seek, is I knew a lot of people wanted to do, you know, showcase style designs. And it's hard because, you know, when you do something too showcasey, it's just way too big for you to be able to have a match that's less than an hour. It's going to take more than an hour to find everyone, unless you have like 5 or 6 seekers. It gets really hard to find people. Like, I have trouble finding people sometimes on my own small map. So I think that's why Christmas Hide and Seek didn't rank higher than it did. But if this was a like showcase category, I think it would have ranked way higher. Next, we have Abandoned City Hide and Seek, created by ilovecheetahverymuch. Man, I'm never going to say his name correctly. He's going to give me such a problem after watching this video, but we'll just call him Billy. All right, Billy. This map is really cool. It's another very big map. It's not quite as big as the Christmas Hide and Seek that you just saw. It is pretty big to the point where I couldn't find people during my tests when I was doing some live streams. It was really hard to find everyone. So you're going to need like maybe 5 seekers for this map, maybe 3 at a minimum, but 5 would be ideal. It's a really hard map to find people in, but it's gorgeous. I love the whole like vine treatment they've got. It looks like it's been abandoned. It's perfect. Next up with number 5 is Japanese Kingdom Hide and Seek. This map is very cool looking. I love the visuals. I love the whole like dirt path feel of it. They've got some really cool passageways. There's a lot to this map though. This is going to be a nightmare for any seeker to ever find people in. And in fact, I think it would be really cool for it to be like a block hunt kind of map, you know, just really, it's huge. Showcase wise, it's up there. It would rank way higher if it's just a showcase. It might be like top 3 in my opinion. It's really, really cool looking, but a little too big for me to actually want to play on. Like, this would take me forever to find people. Next up at number 4 is DV's Giant Kitchen Hide and Seek map, which is by Chilling. This map is really cool. I love the whole oversized kitchen feel of it. It's got like a dog, there's like a mouse, there's a cat. I love the whole pixel art kind of feel to it. Gives me, you know, a little bit of Islands vibes to a degree. You got the refrigerator. We played on this map, I think, a few times, and it's really nicely made. There's a lot of good hiding spots, although it does take a little longer to find people at times, depending on how good you are as a seeker. Finally, with our top 3 for hide and seek maps, next we have Winter Hide and Seek by Muscular Gorilla. This map is a lot like the other Christmas hide and seek map, but much smaller, and so it's a little less laggy. It is still pretty laggy, but it's not as bad. It's also a lot smaller and a lot more simplified. There's not so many like underground passageways. There's some, but not too many. The map is more focused again on showcasing, so it's going to be pretty hard to find people. You're going to need probably about 4 or 5 people to seek on this one, unless you're using items to like blow stuff up. But I love the Polar Express train. We got some really cool little statues here you can hide in. They got a dragon in the sky that's blowing ice, like basically, like, you can't really call it ice fire, but he's basically freezing a building. And then inside of the caves, I thought it was great, there's like a Yeti inside of the caves. But this is a really cool map by Gorilla. Next up with number 2 is a hide and seek retro map by Comatic 10. You got some arcade machines, you got some Silo cups, you got like frosty making machines, you've got bubble gum and all sorts of stuff in here. It's really cool. Lots of great hiding spots. And finally, with number 1 is Oil Rig Mega Hide and Seek. And I was actually surprised this one won, but it's just so beautiful that I think most judges were just like, dude, this has to win. So this is a really, really cool build by Cool Ethan Yao, which, dude, this map is stunning. Like, this is almost something out of like Minecraft or Islands. It's just so precise. And we played on this one. It's going to be really, really hard for you to find people. It's huge. This map is gigantic, yet the performance isn't too bad. It's still pretty playable on it. I didn't have any issues with playability, but the main issue we had was just, it's huge. So just enjoy it. Next up, we have our PvP maps category, and we're going to start from the bottom all the way up to the number 1 winner. And the first one here with number 8 is Glide Wars by Penguins 909. What you need to do in Glide Wars is you need to pick up a hang glider. You've got a, void axe, and then you've got a toy hammer. And the objective of Glide Wars is to make it through the obstacle and paths all the way to the finish line before other teams do. And there's like specific paths you have to follow through. So just watch, you'll see what's going on. Next up is Random Arena by Kakomaka 677. This one's a wacky like PvP arena where you just jump in and every single round is like different. Like, there's different disasters that can occur. In our case, we got like stuck with tornadoes, and at some point we ended up with like super speed. So it kind of has like a little bit of a slap battles feel to it. I like the randomness. I like just the wacky PvP aspect. It doesn't get too serious, and it's just a silly PvP mode, which I liked. I mean, it's just nice to have a little less seriousness. Next one, number 6, is Desert Hunger Games by Pro Baby Gayton. I don't know if I said that right, but this map was really, really good. I'm surprised it ranked so low. I feel like it could have been higher because I really enjoyed this map. Desert Hunger Games is a Hunger Games style map, and you just go around looting chests, and it's pretty much last man standing or last player standing. And the cool thing is, like, there's actual like resources around the map, and there's an upgrade shop as well as a regular shop, so you can buy supplies, you can power yourself up, get better armor. Unfortunately, I never got any arrows out of chests, so I think you have to go to the shop to buy those, so that was kind of useless for me. But it was a really fun PvP arena. It's kind of like cutthroat. It almost felt like a little bit of Sky Wars, and I can see this one being an actual game mode. It's really fun. Next up with number 5 is a Death Run inspired map by Frozen Flames. I'm kind of jealous though because this was my idea. Okay, I was going to make a Death Run map. Kind of similar to what I probably would have done, although I might have done some things differently. How this works is if you've never played Death Run, there's one killer and everyone needs to survive. And it's pretty much a side scroll, or it's kind of like a pathway that the survivors need to go on. And all the while, the killer is trying to kill them by triggering traps. So you can see they're just, you know, hauling butt. They're just running through the map and I'm trying to keep up. But essentially what you need to do is trigger each trap and kill them before they can reach the end. And if they reach the end safely, there's nothing you can do because you don't have a sword or anything. You can just get killed. In this Death Run map, you know, there's skeletons, there's different mines that are traps, there's like a maze that gets like shifted around and such. It's really cool. And unfortunately, they went full tryhard mode during this recording because they wanted to win. So yeah, I kind of got killed. Next with number 4 is a Jailbreak inspired map by King IOC123. This is a really cool map. So how this one works, if you've ever played Jailbreak, I mean, it's one of the oldest games on Roblox technically, or one of newish oldest. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's been around for a long time, right? And in this map, you are either a prisoner or a guard. It is randomized. And so if you're a guard, your duty is to keep the prisoners in line, you know, arrest them or kill them if they're doing stuff wrong. And you also need to recover them if they escape, because there are ways like tunnels. There's like a sewer system you can, you know, essentially escape through. There's different ways you can escape the map. And outside of the prison, there's a bunch of like different weapons. I think there's even a meteor, which is kind of crazy to think about. And as a criminal, you've got jobs at the prison you can do. You can essentially like wash dirty laundry and you get currency, which you can then take to NPCs, buy upgrades, buy different weapons, just buy different gear. You can get armor and such. It's really well done. Honestly, King did a great job on this game. I think he's going to be adding some more features to this one soon too. Like I suggested some more like tasks and such. At some point, you need to have some kind of end goal objective as well. Like I want to see like, how do I win or beat the game, right? And that's kind of ultimately what we're looking for, is how do we beat Jailbreak. But for this one, great game. I think you should keep at it. Next one, number 3 is Build-Mart, which is a kind of like a build contest or build PvP. I don't know that. I mean, it's PvP, okay, because it's, you know, team versus team, but essentially like a competition more than PvP. There's a build that's going to appear and you need to replicate that build with the blocks that you can go gather around the map. So it is a slower match kind of game, and it's more of a creative like competition. So you're not like killing people with swords and such. You're essentially, you just need to keep going through and building the correct like building. So get the correct build and you win the round. So again, this one is by DLandFAN. It's a great map. Love it. During this recording, I don't know why, but they had some errors. And so by the time you watch this, hopefully it'll be fixed. Now, one of my favorites, honestly, I wish this one was number 1, dude. I wish this one was number 1 because I love it so much. I play it almost every live stream. And this is Sharks versus Minnows by GetEggMan. But this map is fully automated and scripted. It's just perfect in many ways. The objective in Sharks versus Minnows, if you're new to the concept or game, there's a shark in the middle of the map, which is the killer, and they need to stay within these like yellow lines, right? And minnows need to jump over and reach the other side each round. As each round occurs, you know, of course, the shark's going to continue to get more and more minnows out, and ultimately you're going to have a last player standing who wins the match. So definitely going to continue playing it on streams. And finally, with our number 1 winner is Hunger Games by Stinkymuscleman. This is a much bigger Hunger Games style map than the desert one. It's huge. Like the map build is gorgeous. It's a really well done map. Oddly enough though, this one is only like 1v1v1v1, so it's basically 4 players. And so if you want to do this on a live stream, you're kind of limited, which is unfortunate. I think during my live stream I kind of broke the map, and that's why they don't want more than 1 player per team. Kind of funny. I'm sorry, Stinkymuscleman. I'm sorry for breaking your map. But yeah, I like this game. I kind of ended up just trolling other players at the end because that's what I do. All right, finally into our category that you've been waiting for, the scripted maps category. There's some really good games. What I like about this category especially is that most of these are single player, except for maybe one, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But let's start with number 8, which is Cloud Jumper, created by Superspeed13W. This is a bubblegum simulator inspired like Cloud Jumper. Literally, it's just a cloud jumping game. If you ever played Bubblegum Sim or Ninja Legends, kind of similar, but instead of, you know, blowing bubbles or getting more sword swipes, you are using different items. So you're using a grapple, pulse grenade, or you can use the beehive grenades. The map gravity is a little lower, so you can kind of float around a little bit. So you're not going to like drop immediately. You can kind of float down. Kind of a cool game. Like if you're just kind of jumping in, messing around, I like it. Next one, number 7 is Cookie Clicker by DevGuyWasTaken. This is a single player kind of game where essentially it's a cookie clicker. So if you've never played cookie clickers, I'll just give you the quick explanation. It's not like mind-boggling or anything like that. It's real simple. What you have here is you go up to this cookie over here. You need to click it, and then you get some cookies. Go around and pay for upgrades so that you can get more cookies every single click. So in the case of Grandma over here, when you upgrade the Grandma, she automatically gives you cookies, which makes sense. I mean, what Grandma doesn't automatically give you cookies when you show up to them, unless maybe you're not allowed to have sugar. But on the other side, you also have essentially an increase for your cursor or your clicks. Go get more upgrades, and that's all it really is. It's just a progression, kind of like cookie simulator style game, but built in BedWars. Pretty cool. Next up at number 6 is Void Escape by iNeonEye, which is a really cool Flood Escape inspired map. If you ever played Flood Escape on Roblox, it's essentially the same idea. You need to make sure you escape the floor or else it's going to do damage. Kind of like Void Rise. If you remember the BedWars Disasters update, you have to obby or parkour all the way up to the top of the map and escape before you die. So I could tell they spent a lot of time on this one, just thinking through every single like little section of it. I feel like this could be a really good standalone game, honestly. Like Void Escape is just really cool, man. I kind of wish that, you could like license the BedWars engine and publish your own games for Robux, because some of these games are really, really cool. Void Escape, go check it out. I still want to beat this. Again, it's single player, so you don't have to play with others if you don't want to. Next with number 5 is the Sherbet Trials by Secret Super Spy 13. If you remember, when you got Adetunde for free in BedWars, where there was like the whole trial you had to go through during the Christmas update. Basically, it's kind of like that, but it's part 2. He does talk a lot. Like he's telling you he wants revenge on you for killing him and all this other stuff. I'm just gonna kind of breeze through that for you. I mean, you're gonna play it anyway, so you're gonna hear it like a million times. So in this map, you have multiple trials you need to go and complete against other teams. The first one, you have to eliminate each other, gaining as many crystals as you can before others. So the more damage you do, the more crystals you get. After that, you got to do a snowball fight. And finally, you have a trial where you have like an obby, or actually it's more like a parkour style map where you have to utilize a void axe mixed with a jade hammer to get to the end. And the first 5 that make it through get to battle Adetunde. So there's a whole series of like boss battles at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but really cool map by Secret Super Spy. Next up, we have KitFight, which is a map by ItsAPhoenix. This is a really cool roguelike map where you jump in. You can do this multiplayer if you want. I'd recommend just going solo and seeing how far you can get. But you have various rooms that you spawn in. It does take a little while, so if it feels like the map is kind of bugged, just hang out in there. That's probably why it didn't get as, high of a rating for some other judges. But if you walk into that room and go to the flag and nothing happens, the map's still loading. So that's kind of again, I think that's probably why it didn't get as, high of a rating. Once the map is fully loaded, you're going to end up being trapped in with some mobs. You need to clear that room, or essentially kill the mobs. So once you clear the room, you get some gold, and you can take that gold and get upgrades. Now, be careful going to new rooms if it has a flag, because that means you're going to get locked in again, and you got to beat the baddies in there, and you got to clear it. It gets harder and harder as you progress, because there's new mobs that you have to battle, and they do give you more gold drops in a sense, and there's different upgrades you can buy, so you're going to get better weapons over time. Next one, number 3, is Red Light Green Light by Spot1Ace. And Red Light Green Light, it's just an old school kind of playground type game where one person says green light and everyone runs towards you and you say red light. And essentially, if anyone moves, they're out. Okay, so when it's red light, you're not allowed to move or else you die. And that's kind of inspired by Squid Games. Squid Games kind of took it in a dark way. Basically, they're shooting people if they move. This one is fully scripted and automated, so it kills the player if they move at all. Many of you have seen me play this map a lot on my live streams because it's just fun. Next one, number 2, is Tetris by Frandan. This is literally Tetris in BedWars. Do I have to say anything else? Like, I already made a dedicated video on this map. It's really cool. Other than the fact that I'm really bad at Tetris, apparently. And finally, the #1 map for scripted maps is BedTowerDefense, or BedTD, created by Larry Blocks, aka ilovecheetahverymuch. You'll have to ask him about his username. I don't know. But BedTowerDefense is actually a fully functioning tower defense game on Roblox. I will be doing a full video. I gotta like unlock every single unit in this thing. It's gonna take me forever. Fully functioning tower defense. I mean, you can go in there, you can look at all the different towers they've got. You can unlock more towers over time by, grinding the game. You accumulate more gold. It does save, so the next time you load the map, you'll have your gold. Run over here, walk on this platform, go to play. You're going to do some map voting. And once you load the map, there's another voting section for voting for the difficulty that you're going to do. There's even a nightmare mode if you really want to do nightmare mode. And then there's a fully functioning tower defense game in here. I'll just let you watch it, but I have not been able to beat this, so I clearly need more towers. Again, congrats to all the winners. I will include the code for each map in the description below. So if you want to be able to go and find those maps, easy, easy, easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But if you want to see future map contests like this one, let me know in the comments below and just share the video around. If this video gets enough views, maybe I'll do another contest. We'll see. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.